think we should get into the secret sauce, and that is client retention. All of your attention needs to go to retaining your clients.
Always, no questions asked.
Make sure they're happy. Make sure that you're constantly evolving with them, and just making sure that that retainer client doesn't go anywhere is the foundation of building on what you already have.
Don't ever think that because a client is not saying something to you, because they're quiet, because they're not reaching out, that means that they're 100% happy and have no feedback. Always check in on them.
Wait, I want to be like Drake. Are we recorded? Sorry. Moving on.
Hi guys, we're back. So in our last episode, we talked about our brand name. We took you through our journey of first clients, building our team, and also just how we got started. And today we want to just walk you through our hardships, adapting, how it is to work together, and lessons we've learned.
We should really start with kind of how we set some work-life boundaries when we started the agency, because It was grind time like all the time when we started, so I think it's really important.
There were no boundaries for the first
year. Like, let's start off by saying that we lived together and we were grinding out the agency to grow it to its full capacity.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was, I'd say, let's start from when we quit our full-time jobs to pursue this full-time. We didn't have a set day-to-day. We didn't have a set schedule. So it was kind of like, we could start working whenever we wanted to, but we really committed to taking this seriously. So we were actually starting to work at like 8 a.m. We didn't want to feel like bums. And that's when we started getting addicted to
think
grinding.
Luckily, like, we lived together, so we held each other accountable in a way that, like, she was up. First of all, let me just say, she's an early bird. Like, I'm not. And like, I could hear this
could hear this
making coffee, making eggs, like, really early, and I'm just like, why? Like, now I feel like I need to get up.
Honestly, I never expected it from you, because I know you're not a morning person. I was just getting my getting my day started.
So it took a little, obviously, to just like learn, this is your schedule without like the full-time job. This is my schedule. But I think it worked out really well because we both were so committed to making this work, and we wanted to give 100%, and we gave 100% of us.
Fully. I think we started, basing our work schedule around meetings. So like, we would start building out our meeting schedule with clients, and that's where we were like, okay, in between that, we'll handle, what are our service offerings, creating decks, managing our team member, our one and only team member from the beginning, proposals, learning how to manage our finances. That was like a whole nother thing.
It'll be a whole episode. Don't you worry.
I don't think we should make an episode. But I think that all of those different points were like taking a back seat to meeting with our clients and speaking to them and making sure everyone's happy. I think we should get into the secret sauce, and that is client retention. All of your attention needs to go to retaining your clients.
Always, no questions asked.
Make sure they're happy. Make sure that you're constantly evolving with them, and just making sure that that retainer client doesn't go anywhere is the foundation of building on what you already have.
Don't ever think that because a client is not saying something to you, because they're quiet, because they're not reaching out, that means that they're 100% happy and have no feedback. Always check in on them.
I'd say that we call out our mistakes before our clients get the chance to point it out. And I'll tell you why that's important. One, they know that we recognize it, and it makes them also comfortable to not have to say it to our face.
Yeah, they know we're going to take care of it.
Yes. And it, too, builds trust that moving forward, we are on top of our team, and we are on top of the things that we're delivering to them. So keeping retainer clients happy and making sure that you call out your mistakes before they have the chance to. Transparency is very important in building that relationship.
When we started getting a lot of retainer clients, that's when we kind of lost track of things, and we then fell into a dark hole where like we were working 24/7. We woke up, we were working, lunchtime, eating and working, dinner time, also eating and working.
Answering texts at 10 o'clock at night from clients. We forget about work-life boundaries. We never set boundaries with our clients. We were too friendly.
Yeah.
They thought that we, you know, since we're young and we're new at all this, that, you know, they don't need to treat us with the same respect that they would a marketing professional, you know, from like a large agency.
Right.
We would get calls on the weekends, texts in the middle of the night, like, it was a lot. And we never shot that down. We just kind of like rolled with it, which was a big mistake and hard to backtrack from.
It was hard, but once we recognized this, we started just implementing more boundaries with our clients, and that was a game changer, because when there's more boundaries, then your work is cleaner. Things are better communicated.
Yeah. There's a time and place.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I will say, when the conversation is open to the entire day, there are a lot of points at which things can get missed. Whereas if they know that they have a time slot during the day to message you all in one shot with a list of things, you are not going to miss a single thing.
It opens door to a lot of mistakes. And also, let's be honest, it was a lot on us. Like, we were burnt out. And I'm talking like, chill time was no longer a thing. Like, we were sitting on the couch and we were still like working on our computers. Keep in mind, we work from home. So us being co-founders, living together, working from home became a lot. I have this like vivid memory of Izzy and I going on a key walk, on a hot girl walk. And I just remember we were like quiet for a good 5 minutes. And then we looked at each other and we were like, we need to start taking breaks. Like, we need to prioritize our mental health, and we need to start like communicating to each other when it's time to stop, because we're like burning out and we're just way too stressed out.
I think we were also getting a little bit guilty, because there were moments where like one of us would have a sense of boundaries with that, and the other one would be like, go.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? We can't take a break. Like, we can't afford to take a break. I think it was a lot of like founder's guilt. Like, you are not in a position by any means to like
be chilling
right now, literally.
So true.
So that was a really big hurdle to get over. But I think like along with some of those challenges, another really important thing to discuss is, how do we notice what's hindering growth?
Right.
And I think there were some clients that became a little bit toxic, and they were definitely, you know, overworking some of the girls on our team. This was already when we had a few more members, and it was, you know, like maybe three.
Yeah.
And also really taking into account how that is taking up a lot of space.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, we made some really hard decisions, like, even though they're paying some bills.
Because like, put yourself in our position. Like, we can't afford to like fire a client or say no and say, you know what, like, you're taking literally 5 to 6 hours of our day, and like, we can't do that.
They were also overpowering a lot of some of the clients.
But also, we can't fire you because we need the money and we're a startup. But that's when like you gotta talk with your team and say, okay, what's going on? Who are you working on the most? What are the struggles? And then we had to kind of like make the decision
and the sacrifice.
Yes, to let them go.
I think it's really important to look at things from a perspective of like profit and loss per client, not necessarily on a financial level, but like in addition to the finances, how is this hurting your team and what are you gaining from having them as a client? That helped us narrow down, like, it's worth taking the sacrifice financially and like taking a hit on like who's paying the bills this month. To make space for new opportunities to come through the door. And I will
say, as soon as we made that decision and we had that hard conversation with our client and we let them go, we realized, oh my God, we literally were focusing on them so much. Like, we just opened up our schedules. We can take on so many new clients.
Like 3 clients for that one.
Literally. And we kind of multiplied what she was paying, even though we were so scared of like letting go that amount. Yeah. And then we realized, oh my God, like, letting go sometimes does mean new opportunities and like more
I think
clients.
this applies to everything in life. I think even like as someone in your 20s, you're just going through things that are like feel very permanent and are like attributing towards your future. But once you release things that are not suiting you or the path that you're supposed to be going on, like you realize how much room you're allowing new opportunities to come into your life. We took that very seriously, and I think that helped us as business owners, but also like as just literal girls
Definitely
in their mid-20s.
Just growth has a lot of change, and take it from us, you need to let go.
Yeah. I think that whole experience really shaped how we work with our team. A lot of the reason why we came to the decision to fire that client was because our team members were coming to us like, hey, listen, it's great that like we have this account and everything, but also like it's really taking away time from other clients and it's hurting us.
If more than one team member is saying this, or if this person is saying multiple times, like you need to listen and you need to address it.
100%.
And I think that like put us in a different position with our team members, just because we started being more communicative. Like we started talking more about like everything that
we would walk through decisions with them.
Definitely.
At that point,
we included them in everything.
Yeah. And I also think that how they saw we reacted to their feedback on this specific situation and saw how we handled it so quickly.
That's so true.
They were like, okay, they really value us and like
they have our back.
They have our backs.
Yeah.
So that opened a new line of communication with like our team members and honestly our relationship with them. Like we've become so close since then.
Right.
They know that like when it comes to a client, we will have our team's back no matter what.
But then also, as managers, we had to kind of set the boundaries because, yes, we have your back with clients, but we also expect you to, perform and to show up for the client and take care of all the retainer clients that we have. So it's kind of a give and take from us with them and also from the team. Like we have said multiple times, I think they really made Reka what we are today.
I will say, like, for me, maintaining a level of quality and a standard that, like, we are proud of has always been the biggest push-pull with our team members. Like, if I see something that is making my heart sink, that, like, I can't believe something like that is, going to a client, we reel that in really quickly. And, like, we can have those conversations saying, I don't think this upholds the level of quality that we as an agency and as a group should hold ourselves to. And I think that having those hard conversations pushes them to work harder and push their boundaries of what they can do as a professional. So it is a hard balance for sure.
Yeah.
On the next episode, we're going to get into content productions, getting big scale clients with big scale budgets. But also just getting into a little bit more of some of the larger clients that we've gotten to work with and success stories there. So we are so excited to share that with you.
Stay tuned.
Follow us on socials, subscribe to our YouTube, and
All the above.
see you next Wednesday.